From a hotel event center, 80 shops for violating environmental laws. And finally, on the Daily Post this morning, Akwa Ibom Monarch demands relocation of Eket's Custodial Center. And one more story, I beg your pardon. Inyobong Umoren, court overrules objection to admissibility of Uduak Akpan's statement. And that's it on the Daily Post.
One more here from Premium Times. Nigeria surprised but fails to condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Russian invasion. Nigerian lawmakers want citizens evacuated from Ukraine. Cocaine deal. Court gives NDLA 48 hours to reply Abakari's bail request. Appeal court narrowly affirms ex-lawmaker Farouk Lawan's conviction. Jail term reduced. Okay, let's see. Terrorists are more daring than Boko Haram. El Rufai, gunmen killed 2 police officers, 5 others. In Edo, Institute of Bankers, EFCC disagree on asset declaration by bankers' spouses' children. Climate change, NIMET predicts 310-day maximum growing season. How Nigeria can attain full potential greatness, Gawan others. Atambua urges Buhari to improve welfare of security personnel. We'll go on our first commercial break. We'll be back.
To news,
to sports and talk.
We'll give you all you need to make the best of your day.
On the break of dawn, 32 FM 94.9.
Every day is another chance to do it all over again.
Get the best of starts on the break of dawn. 32 FM 94.9.
Thank you for staying with us on the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 949. We have more stories from the Vanguard this morning. The police in Abuja on Thursday night released activist Omoyele Sowore after arresting him at the premises of the Court of Appeal in Abuja. And moving to the front page of the Vanguard this morning, 2 policemen, 5 others killed as robbers raid 4 banks in Edo. Federal government to evacuate Nigerians from Ukraine. This is coming from Oyema. Manufacturing sector's GDP rises 3.35% to 6.5 trillion naira. Why military is reluctant to wipe out bandits? This is coming from Governor El Rufai. Says terrorists control resources so huge they can destabilize Nigeria. And away from that, 2023, I'm fit to rule Nigeria. This is coming from Tinubu. And AIB blames Quorum helicopter crash on insufficient fuel. Echo Bridge, Lagos government diverts traffic for 3 months. And finally, detention. Court gives NDLEA 48 hours to respond to Abba Kyari's bail request. And that's it from the Vanguard.
All right, let's take this one here from Daily Trust just as we await the analyst for today, and that's Austin Ejuma. We'd rather die here. Some Nigerians trapped in Ukraine reject evacuation offer. It's a long story. Some Nigerians who are currently trapped in Ukraine as a result of the crisis with Russia have ruled out the option of returning to the country. Speaking with Daily Trust via telephone, they expressed cynicism about the federal government's promise to evacuate willing Nigerians from the war-torn country following Russia's invasion. The House of Representatives, in a resolution on Thursday, yesterday, called for the immediate evacuation of Nigerians, while the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, said the process will commence once airports in the country were opened. We'll come to that in a bit. Let's take another one here, and of course, we'll engage Justin in a bit.
Okay, we also have this story. Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai said yesterday that the military had been reluctant to fully engage bandits terrorizing the country, especially in the northwest, for fear of being dragged before the International Court ICC. According to him, he says the governor also raised alarm over financial resources available to terror rings in the country, saying they are enough to destabilize the country. He also said preliminary investigations had revealed that some security operatives were working for terrorists.
Electoral Act. 4 ministers, MDA heads to resign over 2023. Okay, President Buhari and his close aides are in a dilemma over the fate of his political appointees, who may resign in droves if he signs the Electoral Bill 2022 transmitted to him by the National Assembly on the 31st of January. The provision that makes it mandatory for political appointees who want to run for office in 2023 to resign is seen as a clog in the wheel of the electoral law currently before the president for assent. Like I said, it's also a long story here. 4 ministers, MDA heads to resign over 2023, and that's on the Electoral Act.
Away from that, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timmy Silva, yesterday said the increase in prices of crude oil was not in the best interest of Nigeria. Specifically in an interview, he says, "I am hopeful," and I quote, "I'm hopeful the prices will move around maybe $80, maybe $70. We're hoping it will come down to somewhere around $70 to $80, which will be sustainable for us to the end of the year." And the inability of Nigeria to activate the oil wells it shut down when OPEC instructed producing countries to cut production, as well as lack of investment in the upstream sector affecting the nation. So he's trying to cut down, we cut down too much, and now to come back, it's not been easy for us to get the wells back to production. I'm guessing this is supposed to be some sort of explanation for the scarcity that we're currently experiencing.
From Premium Times, bandits are more daring than Boko Haram. El-Rufai. Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State says armed bandits are more daring than Boko Haram and their atrocities more devastating than those of the Islamist insurgents. The bandits operate in the northwest and north-central region, while the activities of Boko Haram insurgents are largely confined to the northeast of Nigeria. Like the insurgents in the northeast, bandits have killed, abducted, or displaced tens of thousands of people in Kaduna, Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi, and Niger State over the last few years. From Premium Times, bandits are more daring than Boko Haram. El-Rufai.
Let's move to the Daily Post this morning. Ned Nwoko behind Sowore's arrest. This is coming from his lawyer. Human rights lawyer and activist has disclosed that Ned Nwoko, a former lawmaker and husband of Nollywood star Regina Daniels, was behind the arrest of Nigerian activist and publisher of Sahara Reporters, Sowore, on Thursday. According to F. Young on his social media, Sowore was arrested over what he described as frivolous petition by Nwoko. And earlier, F. Young had raised the alarm that he was denied access to Sowore after he was arrested shortly after his case at the appeal court. He was taken to the very notorious abattoir, former Abuja SAS facility, and he was denied access. I'm just wondering why. Away from that.
All right, some headlines here on Russia-Ukraine war. Just as we engage our friend right about now in Ukraine. Ukraine-Russia war, 40 killed, many wounded. That's from the cable. Russia's Putin announces military operation in Ukraine. Russia-Ukraine war, Putin warns of severe consequences if foreign powers interfere. And why is Russia attacking Ukraine? What we know so far because of Russia-Ukraine war. First images of Ukraine under Russia attack. You have these headlines here this morning. And we have Bosola right here on the phone, right from Ukraine, just as we engage on happenings around the place. Hello, good morning to you. Did I just say good morning?
Good morning.
Good morning, Bosola. Good to have you join us on phone.
Yes, thank you.
So how are you today?
A little better, but still not okay.
Tell us about the development around the place. Where are you exactly in Ukraine?
I'm in Sumi.
Okay. Could you speak up a little, speak For
I'm in Sumi.
Isumi. Okay, great. So, what is the situation of things there as we speak?
Currently here in Sumi, we don't know. Everybody is just like, I don't even understand. People are like in the basement, in the bunker, just in case of anything. Because at night we could not sleep. We kept hearing things. Then we run down to the basement and still come back again to our place because we stay in the hostel and all that. So it has been like a really, I don't know, a really bad experience. And everybody is not at peace because you don't know. Next minute you're hearing something. Next minute it is something else, and we don't know what is going on.
Mm. Okay. By the way, Busola is a student, currently a Nigerian student in the Ukraine, as we speak. Yesterday we learned of panic buying, people queuing up at the ATM point to draw and all that. What of feeding, and all of this.
Yes, it started yesterday. It started with Kyiv and other cities, but not here in Sumy. So in the morning, people started panic buying. There were long queues at the ATM, at the supermarket, because everyone was rushing. And I think around 6 or 7 was when the invasion started into my city, and a curfew was like on, and everyone has to stay indoors. And I even had like friends that were not indoors at the moment, all trying to like escape or try to find our way back home. And when they came home, they were all saying it wasn't a like funny experience because they were hearing gunshots and different explosions and all that.
Have you been contacted maybe for a way to be evacuated?
We've been feeling like different forms, so we don't even know which is like the real one because I feel like different two forms of Nigerian students here in this place in Sudan. So we don't know which is which.
Well, we even learned the airspace has already been closed, so it's looking like the calls may be unrealistic. I'm just thinking, and some Nigerians are not even willing to come to Nigeria in spite of the bombings currently going on there. What is your own position? What do you feel?
Why do you think that is?
Why people won't come back to the
Yes.
country? I do not know. I think I don't know.
Would you like to come back? If, for instance, the federal government sent, a jet there to freight Nigerians back to Nigeria, would you be on the plane?
It's a two-win situation. If the matter kind of subsides before the federal government sends plane, I don't think I want to come back. But if it's not looking like it's going to subside, then I have to come back.
You are over there. Do you think that it's going to subside? Does it look like from the things that you've heard, from the information you're getting?
At the moment, it does not look like it's going to subside because they're moving from cities to cities. So right now they're on to the next.
All right.
Okay.
So, Busola, thank you for sharing your time. We pray that, God will preserve you there. Please stay safe. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Busola. All right. We know that America evacuated our citizens a long time ago, and some other countries. Well, we are just talking about evacuating our people when bombings already started over there.
The president said we should be calm, and it now feels like welcome.
Austin Idomo, good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
It now feels like Ori Olori, all man for himself, in this situation.
Yes, like we have said, the other country like the UK, the US have started proactive measure even before the bombing when the threat was ongoing and the tension was rising. They evacuated their own people, give them safe landing. But the Nigerian situation, bombing has started, fatality have continued to soar before the federal government is saying that, we may likely have to bring them back home. Even as we speak now, the federal government has not been able, not only Nigerian government, most government within the African continent, they have not been able to come out in clear terms to condemn the assault or the invasion of Ukraine by the Russian president. I don't know for whatever reason that they are doing that. But the truth of the matter is that you look at what the fellow said, that a lot of Nigerians are not willing to come back. except the situation subside over there. Of course, they may not have any choice than to come back eventually. But from the look of things, based on international dimension, NATO intervention, EU intervention, it's most likely going to last for a while because Putin is still spitting fire.
What does he want?
I do not know. Of course, he wants a complete takeover. That is what he actually wants. He wants a government in Ukraine that will be pro-Russia. You know, the former government before this was a pro-Russia government. So that is exactly what he wants. He wants to gain absolute control. But the idea of wanting to do it alone without allowing international organizations and international countries to also mediate in it, I think that is the way it's going. So it's triggering what looks like a global war because economically and otherwise there is tension along that coast, and if care is not taken, the number of fatality will continue to record. And we know Putin as a very I don't want to use the words that comes to my mouth, but I think it's very radical and it's also very resilient when it comes to decision making. He does not care what the West will do.
I watched a particular interview granted by Condoleezza Rice to Farid recently, and he said the same Putin. You know, he's been there for over about 20 years now.
Yes.
So he's grown from the very shy Putin that we used to know to a very confident guy, and also now to a mega lumaniac. I mean, he's just, full of himself, and he just wants to do anything. Ukraine used to be a part of Russia, and by all means, he wants it back. What of the sovereignty of Ukraine?
That is the issue. He wants it back.
Does he exactly want it back?
See, yeah, of course, yes. That is the bottom line. That is what he's aiming at. Because if you look at it, he has supported rebels against Ukraine even before now. Like you said, not just that he has become so powerful, he has also become very strong in terms of economic power to be able to prosecute whatever. If somebody has just all of a sudden rise up and cut the bluff of everybody and say this is what I'm going to achieve in this present world. So some people will look at it that if care is not taken, something like the Third World War can kickstart from here. Putin does not care. This is what he wants. It's all out. Look at the soldiers, the style and the method of invasion. Like the lady said, they are doing it city.
They said it's not a war.
No, they are doing it city by city, just like conquering these people. That is what it looks like. Because if you talk about the manpower, the military power, and what have you, Ukraine cannot stand Russia.
But what
and that is the advantage that Putin is taking.
The agreement, a purported agreement entered into between Russia and NATO, that there will be no expansion into Russia's sphere of influence by NATO. The interference into the sphere of Russia, and that is what NATO is willing to grant Ukraine now, and that is also upsetting Putin.
See, that agreement has collapsed in my view. Whatever the case may be, Putin is all out. He does not even want to see any major intervention from NATO. That is what it's looking like.
So are we going to keep watching? The world will
not watch. The world will have to come in at the end of the day, because NATO has also threatened that Putin is drawing war with the entire global community, and they just have to come in to survey the situation. Well, it looks like the issue will continue for a longer time. Let government, especially Nigerian government, see how to ensure that our people are safe landed. That is the most important thing. But the way it's looking now, Putin does not mind if the entire Ukraine is overrun by its military forces. He does not really care until the world is able to come together and intervene so strongly.
All right, let's come back home. How to restructure Nigeria by AFDB President Akinwumi Adesina.
Yes, restructuring Nigeria is very simple. It's not a rocket science. It's something that can be achieved if the government wants to do it. So which means that it is doable. Start the devolution of power. You are gradually restructuring the country. How do I mean? We have about 68 items on the exclusive legislative list. These are items that the federal government alone can legislate on. If we are talking about too much power concentrated at the center, let us devolve power. By the time you start removing some of the things from the exclusive legislative list, bring it then to concurrent list, where in-state can be empowered, then we have started the process of decentralization, which is restructuring gradually. The government of the day does not want to restructure. They don't believe in restructuring. They believe so strongly that nothing is wrong with the structure. And if you don't believe that you have a problem, there's no way solution can come. So that's just the issue. Some of the things that we do, they are theoretical. We have said it times without number. Let's use the police as an example. It's quite unfortunate that the executive arm of government had to kick against decentralization of the police, that you have a situation wherein we still have a unitary system of policing in the country. It cannot really work. Look at Niger State, for example. One of the biggest states in the country, if not the biggest state in the country by landmass. You have just one commissioner of police. You understand? So, like Bayelsa have one commissioner of police. Niger State has one commissioner of police too. So if we look at it, let us gradually return power to the people. It does not necessarily mean that it's too ambiguous and it is something that we don't want to do. But this present government does not want to restructure. I hope that after some people have left government, they won't talk about restructuring, because there were some people in the former government who never saw anything like restructuring at that time. Now, all of a sudden, because they don't have power again, they are talking about restructuring. You know, it's good to give power back to the people. But when you are there, you won't see any reason why that should be done. And also, our sovereignty to a large extent has been tampered with in terms of national unity and cohesion, unlike what it used to be. The point I'm making is that we have never been this divided before. You have agitations here and there. The best way we can address some of this agitation is to restructure the country, let people have a say. Under the First Republic, for example, nobody knows anything like federal government. We're only talking about the Western government. I hope you remember. People are talking about Ibadan, whatever we can do and what have you. Let's go back to that era. In my view, I feel that was the only era Nigeria actually made relative progress, steady and relative progress, of which, if that was not truncated, we would have been a very great nation by today. So there is need to restructure, and I don't think it's something that is very difficult to do if the government has the political will to be able to do that.
Okay, let's talk about this story. The robbery attack in Uromi, Edo State yesterday. A couple of commercial banks were affected, and residents of the community says that the robbery was coordinated. Some people are saying, are we back to this era of where, you know, these kind of things occur, and the operations are so successful, they go their way and they leave the scars? Because this means now that because of this attack, they have to go to neighboring communities now to do their banking activities, because Uromi is going to be on some sort of banking activity lockdown for now.
Yes, it's quite unfortunate that we're having this again, but this is not the first time. In 2018, it happened too, I think around Akoko Edo. It also happened, and a lot of fatality too was recorded at that time. Any bank robbery of this sort will definitely be coordinated, like the one we had in Ibadan like 2 weeks ago. They can't come without succeeding, because they must have gathered enough intelligence. I don't know whether you understand. This Uromio is similar to what happened in Ofa. They had to first of all attack a police station, you know, make the people vulnerable. At that time, the police will have to run for their own safety before they carry out the attack. So any attack that lasts for more than 1 hour and they made away with huge sum of money, that would have been a coordinated attack. So what do we do? Now there will be tension in Uromi and Auchi. The government will come up with fire brigade approach. As usual, security will be beefed up in that area. In the next two weeks, 1 month, we are back to the status quo. How do we ensure that we nip this in the bud? Not most of the time recording fatality after such a dastardly attack will have been committed. These people must have gathered enough intelligence, map out their strategy, look at a possible way of escape, look at their target. They don't miss their target. You know, that of Ibadan, we say, huge amount of money is involved. Of course, they want to go away with that money, and for that particular kind of operation, the money cannot be 5 or 10 million. They have the amount in mind. This is what we are going out for. So they put their life on the line. The one that happened in Ibadan, around that Iwo Road area, 12 years ago or thereabout, for intelligence later suggests that these guys have been in that area for like 4 days. Observing the trend, mapping out strategy. Look at the area of vulnerability on the part of security operative. You understand? Then at a time where they are going to strike, they would destabilize the whole area, and until they have made away with their whatever they came for, before there will be settlement. So for me, except we do the needful, stuff like this will continue to happen. Like Denica said, banking activity has been paralyzed. People have to go out of that vicinity to carry out banking activity. Look at the issue of insecurity again. You look at the issue of kidnapping and what have you. So the government must do the needful. How do we ensure that some of these acts are tracked before they happen? When last have we heard in Nigeria that a bank attempt bank robbery? I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. That a bank robbery that failed as a result of security intervention. They will always succeed. 7 people killed in a road, 2 policemen. That could also be a damage control figure. You understand? It could be more. So I think the government really need to do something, and the banks too need to do something. Some of them are having bank guards. They are so relaxed, especially when there are no issue. Some of the bank guards will come in the morning, just sign their name and go their way until there are issues like this. If you put people together, you put other people's money together, you must provide maximum security. Because some of the facilities that were destroyed, you will use money to install them again.
All right, Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila has threatened to publish names of absentee members during the e-voting on the Constitution Amendment on March the 2nd and 3rd, 2022. Gbajabiamila, who made this known at plenary yesterday, urged the lawmakers to participate because of its significance to the country.
Yes, let's continue to appeal to our lawmakers. Of course, it's strange that we have to appeal to them to do the work that they be voted for, so that at the end of the day, we will not come up with this North and South dichotomy again. I'm sure the North will be, all of them probably will be present. You look at what was this recent amendment that was done, that I think the old senator from Ogun State, no one was present. The old 3 senators from Oyo State, only one was present. I think the man from PDP, Balogun, Kola Balogun, was the only one that was present. Ebonyi, no senator present. Enugu, no senator present. Abia State, it was only Abaribe that was present. And you continue to talk about marginalization. Kano State, the 3 of them were present. Katsina, the 3 of them were present. And at the end of the day, to look like shaving our hair in our absence. So we must do the needful. Apart from the threats by the speaker, let's continue to create awareness. Let the constituent begin to mount prayer. You are elected for this job. Don't stay aloof. Don't stay on the fence. You must stand for or against. That's the issue. Because there are a lot of clauses that need to be considered. And this will move the country forward. That is one of the reasons why we'll be having constitution review year in, year out, without the situation on ground improving. The purpose of constitution review is to add clauses to the constitution that can improve the life of the people. So awareness must be created. The people should be there. And in the case that they fail to show up, let Gbajabiamila make good his threat. Let there be no party kind of thing if it gets to this place. We want to see people vote, and we want to see them vote meaningfully. Period. That is what they are elected to do.
Okay, the phone lines are open 0705 500949, 009 7949. For the international line, it is +234 906 200949, +234 906 200949. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Oh, apologize. The line isn't clear. Please try and call us back 0809 7949, 0705 500949. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Okay, 0705 500949.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, this is the point of the matter. Please, I'm appealing to this present administration, under the leadership of President Mahmoud Buhari, to please do the needful by restructure this country. Failure to do so, because of their parochial interests, this country will definitely stop itself. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. 09008097949 or 0705500949 plus 234 for the international number plus 234-906-200949. You can also check our YouTube page. We're live.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning
This
to
is
you.
John Larwaju from Agbo.
All right, John.
On the issue of Ukraine invasion, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm there, even if I want to leave the Ukraine, I will not come to Nigeria. Because it's just like you leave one problem to a bigger problem. That's how it's going to be to me. I will even rather go to another country, maybe another Europe, that's even here. So for me to now come to Nigeria, if as far as I'm concerned, if I'm in Ukraine, that's what I'm going to do. And because I don't even believe the government of Nigeria, because we all know what they did in the issue of South Africa. They did not go there. It was this peace flight. I've forgotten his name. So I went there and carried the Nigerians that's offering there. So in Nigeria, that's how they used to do, and Africa in general. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much for that. Austin, is this fear not, would I say, misplaced for people who have like permanent, would I say, it means to be there? For example, you're a student, you definitely have the pali, if I can put it like that, to be there. So if you're not illegal, why would you not want to come back and then go back when it's resolved? Hello, good morning.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Kings Mamuka is my name.
Okay, go ahead.
It is a thing of national shame that our citizens in Ukraine would say they would rather die there than to accept to be evacuated back to Nigeria, even in the face of serious danger there in Ukraine. It shows how bad things are in this country, and it is a challenge to our leaders for them to drastically improve the situation of things in this country through good governance. It is a big challenge to our leaders. Let them take it as such. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So don't you, like we were saying, if you're not there legally, you can always come back, right? And when things resolve, you go back.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, yeah. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. My name is Deshu Yamonola from US.
Okay.
I don't actually wish to participate in this program because there's nothing encourages me in Nigeria program again. But I just want you guys to help me clarify which Ademo Agon is there in the studio. Is it the one from Mondo State? That's just where I'm calling this morning because that's actually my mother's maiden name. Let me know which one. Maybe that one is my sister or my wife. Let me just know. That's the best of today.
Yeah, your wife. What was that? Okay, so didn't get.
Yes, I didn't want to go from Ondo State.
Okay. Hello.
Morning, Tayo.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
The question, can you imagine how will people be outside and they ask them to come home? They will not want to come in the face of challenges. It just tells you we have some apologies for this word on serious leaders that don't care for their people. Like you just said, Tayo, you said it. America, long time they've done that. Have you occurred to that? Oh, we are even planning. We don't even know if they will do it because they did it in South Africa. They were dilly-dallying. At the end of the day, nothing was done about it. How are we sure they will also send people to move our people back? That is why we are treated the way we are treated outside, because they know we don't have people that care. Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oil price is, moving up. It's now around $105
Yes.
per barrel, and our government says we shouldn't rejoice.
Of course, we shouldn't rejoice. I've said that times without number. This Russia-Ukraine crisis will kick the price to the highest ever. We should not rejoice because more money for crude. The implication is higher pump price, because until we get to a level where we can refine locally.
But how come we made so much, money from past wars that we witnessed, around the world, the Gulf War,
Yes.
and all that.
Because the government, from time to time, have not always think outside the box. They concentrate more on the oil money. You understand? So that is the issue. Until we get to a level where we can harness our potential, use the money you have to build the infrastructure that you need. But we have not been doing that. Look at this huge amount of money in terms of oil revenue. We are paying every subsidy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Alhaji Asola from Coca-Cola.
All right.
I want to beg Mr. President, who doubles as the Minister of Successive Minister of Petroleum, to come to our rescue in Nigeria as we face persistent fuel scarcity. That's by the way. On the issue of Ukraine, if I'm a Nigerian living in Ukraine, I will not come back to Nigeria. I will just pray to Almighty Allah to make sure that I was safe till the end of the war, so that I can continue my better life here. This country is turning into pieces. APC is shredding this country into pieces. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've got comments on Facebook. What does Putin want to gain in waging war against Ukraine? Stop the war in Ukraine. Let's pray for peace to reign. That's coming from Honorable Akin Kumi. Away from that, Balkis says, good morning, 32 FM. When several Nigerians said that they would rather stay in Ukraine than be moved here, I sobbed for this nation. These words reveal the extent to which the country is in disarray. Meanwhile, a war is raging and citizens of other nations are fleeing, yet Nigerians would rather stay and face death than return to Nigeria, return to nothing. I can't blame them for fearing for their safety, since the Nigerian system won't make you. Thank you so much, Balkis, for that one. Away from that, Omo Bashorun Abiola says, good morning to you, Tayo Denike and Austin Odumo. My submission this morning has to do with the diaspora people in Ukraine that propose to reject the offer of federal government to bring them back home. The government, they should please come back home so that they will not lose their life. They should please understand that they still have a bright future ahead. Thanks and have a great weekend.
All right, we also got a comment, Evangelist Oluwafemi Ojetunde. Thank you. Also, Ndumo, we have to go now.
Yes, the world powers will also come together to survey the situation in Ukraine. We can't leave Ukraine for Russia to completely overrun just like that. So that's our wish this morning.
All right, it's a safe point for us to say thank you, dear listener, for your time with us. The program will be back tomorrow. I am Olutayo Ogunade.
And I am Adenike Ademuago. Have a good weekend.
32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.